Hi, I'm Jason Houtsma, guitar instructor for worshipartistry.com. In this YouTube video, I'm going to take all the lead parts for Christy Nockels' song My Anchor from the Passion album, Even So Come, and cram them into this one YouTube lesson. Now at Worship Artistry, you can actually jump to different chapters, just focus on the intro, just on the bridge, verse, etc. But it's a short enough lesson I thought, hey, I can actually give you the whole thing on YouTube. As always though, it's much better to check it out on Worship Artistry. You got charts, tabs, chord shapes, everything that you possibly need for this song. But in this one, we're just going to go through all the lead parts for My Anchor. So let's dive in. Our intro and our bridge have the same exact riff. The only difference is the bridge leads into it with a kind of an eighth note down strum halfway through, but the intro just comes right in. So I'm going to play for you what we're going to do, and then we'll talk through it. We're just doing a simple eighth note pattern. We're starting out with our pinky on the 13th of the E, middle finger on the 11th of the B, and pointer on the 10th. And we're just going to pluck our E, drop back, and come back to that E. So 1 and 2 and start again. 3 and 4 and then we're going to change, keep the same rhythm. And that's just your pinky's in the same spot, ring finger goes to the 13th of the B, and your middle finger is on the 12th. Like so. And repeat. Now, as I mentioned in the bridge, you do a little lead in, and all that is hanging on that 13th fret on the E, going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we're in there for the bridge. So I have a loop down below of that intro. I left it without the pickup because it's just kind of weird with the loop. So just get the feel for that riff. Once you got that, let's go ahead and take a look at the rhythm. For the rhythm on this song, we're just following the chord charts. We're doing almost all single strums, just we just want that to sound nice and big. We've got the overdrive and the delay on. The only part where that changes is on chorus 3. We come up and, it kind of hangs on this F and then goes to the F major 7. And for that, I just wanted to give that a little more lift, so I drove it a little harder. So rather than just one strum, I kind of followed and just kind of hung on those a little bit more just with that down strum. That's pretty much it for the rhythm. We're not doing anything spectacular there. Once we've got that, let's go ahead and take a look at verse 2. Now for verse 2, there's a couple guitar parts going on. There's one that's kind of really kind of underneath everything, that's following the chord changes. Just but your acoustic guitar is kind of doing the same thing. That's just kind of fiddling it out and fattening it up a little bit. So you can totally do that. The other thing that you can do, which is what I did in the music video, is just kind of like this synth line underneath, and it's just kind of this muted thing, and I thought it was a great little part, kind of gives the lift to that second verse. And all you're doing is I'm just barring on the G and B and sliding around and doing a palm muted eighth note feel. So I'll show you what we're going to do, and we'll talk through it. So if you look at that, all it is that B flat chord, just the D and the G. That D minor chord, still just the D and the G of that chord, and then the same thing on the C. So it's all just the D and G. We're palm muting, starting on the G, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's a real simple little part. You can follow that, and then the last thing you want to do is build on that C as you go into that chorus. Just a little something extra. You can kind of choose which one you want to do. I thought that kind of fit the bill. Once you've got that, let's go ahead and take a look at some bonus content. We'll look at some of the ambient parts at the end of that song. Now at the end of the song, there's kind of some ambient parts as the piano really carries everything, and there's like little swells and that sort of thing happening. And so I thought I'd just kind of go over a couple ideas for that. One is a lot of times they just kind of hang on that 9th fret of the G, 10th fret of the D. Give it a good amount of vibrato and then just use that volume pedal to swell in. Really anything within the key of F will work. So you can kind of, hang it up here. I would stay in this position. Kind of works. It's basically working through an F major scale. If you haven't checked out the modes lesson, make sure you check that out over in the one-on-one section. But it's just a way to kind of do that. The main thing that you want to watch for is you don't want to take over. You don't want to get busy. We're very much just using those swells to fill a little bit of space. You could probably just literally hold that, let it play for a while, fade in again every time it hits that, every time it lands a C chord. The other thing you could do is kind of follow that same idea, because you're playing a B flat, D minor, and C. You could just kind of feel those spaces around there. Probably wouldn't even get that busy. Just some different ways to go about it. Just remember to be tasteful. All right, it's a great song. Enjoy.